Hi, it's Angela from Angela's Paper Arts. Today I wanted to show you a little treat box that is a great way to use up some spare cardstock or spare pattern paper or designer series paper. I had to make a whole lot of these for an event that I went to, and I got knocked about a bit. These are leftovers. And it was a quick and easy way to decorate a little box and put a treat inside, and I just put a Milky Way into this size. You can adapt this template to any size you like. You can make them taller, wider. It's really up to you. As you can see, it is flat at the top, so it's just this two pieces of paper together, but at the bottom it forms a square, or a diamond really, and that's what gives it the shape and that little bit of added interest. So all I did was stamp it with the Very Versailles stamp set, the leaf out of here, and I used the Have a Beautiful Day stamp as well to create the sentiment, and popped that on the front with a little bit of twine to hold it together. So I'll quickly show you how to make this, and I can see the sun is starting to come out, so I will just fix that. There we go. All right, so this is the template that I use for my little treat boxes. As you can see, the paper is 5 1/4 inches wide, 5 3/4 inches wide, sorry, and 4 inches wide. Where you see the dashes, that is a score line, so you do not cut those dashes, marks. Where you see a solid line, that is a cut mark, so that is where we will cut to form the base of the box. Anything that's hashed here on the side, we're actually going to cut that off completely and discard it. So that's the basic template. I already have a piece of paper cut to size, and so I will just leave that there so that you can see the template as I do what I need to do. So I'm going to use the Stampin' Up trimmer for this. The advantage of this trimmer is that it has both a scoring blade, well, it's not really a blade, it's a little knob, isn't it? So it's got the scorer as well as the cutting blade on the one track. And I have put a little S on there so that when people are using my trimmer in class situation, they don't get confused between the scoring part and the blade part. But you get used to it after a while. The other advantage is that this trimmer is both imperial and metric. I usually work in metrics, but I found this template in inches imperial, so I just went with it because the trimmer copes with both. You'll also see there are measurements on the side arm too. The standard Stampin' Up one comes with inches down the side. I just happen to have a similar trimmer with a similar arm, and I've put on the metric version, which is coming. Stampin' Up making a metric arm for us that operate in metric. Thank goodness. Yay, thank you, Stampin' Up. So to start with, I'll leave the template here so that you can see what I'm doing. First thing I'm going to do is score long side. So this is the longest side at 2 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to score at 5 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to turn it around to the short side. And I'll just move that down so you can see. And I'm scoring at the 3 inch mark. So I'll put that on the 3 inches there. And we're scoring at 3 inches. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see how nicely scored that is, but they're nice deep grooves. On the back, you might be able to see those score lines a little bit better. So now what we want to do is cut at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and the 5 inch mark. So to do that, I just find it easier, because this is the way it works, to flip it over. I'm going to move my scoring tool out of the way, and I need to go to 1 1/4. Yes, there we go. I haven't used inches in a long time. All right, so 1 1/4. Now I'm going to cut down to the score line. So I can see on the side of this blade, there's a notch that tells me where I'm stopping, and that makes it perfect. Then I'm moving it along to 2 1/2. So basically where the score line is, I am now going to start from there and cut up. I'm going to move it to 3 3¾ inches. So that's out to there. And cut down. As they say, measure twice, cut once. And then out to the 5-inch mark, which again is where we have that score line. And I'll just leave that there and cut up. And that's all it is for the cutting and the scoring. So I'll move the trimmer out of the way. And what I'm going to do first up is just get rid of that excess. We don't need it. And I'm just going to trim that little bit off the edge there too. All right, so we are all scored and cut. That's where it's going. So the next step is to do the decoration. Now, if you were using pattern paper or designer series paper for this, you wouldn't have to do it. It'd already be decorated. But I'm going to do some stamping. And to do that, I can move my template out of the way. To do that, I'm going to use the Very Versailles leaf stamp, which is here. It's a nice big leaf stamp. What I'm going to do, I just want to do a test stamp to make sure I don't have any fluff or anything on there that could affect it, because that has happened before. No, that's good. Now, it is a distinctive stamp. So, and what that means is you will get, and you can see probably on the picture here, see how it changes in tone. So you get this dark inking, then light inking. That's deliberate. That is the effect of the stamp. So don't think there's a problem with your stamp. There's not. So I'm just going to go down here and we'll move it into the middle here. And last but not least, a bit down here. So straight down, straight up with your stamping, and then you won't go wrong. So that was in Pear Pizzazz ink. I'm just going to wipe this with a baby wipe, get that excess ink off before I put it anywhere. And the next bit of stamping that I will do while I'm doing all the stamping is the sentiment. So the have a beautiful day. No, that's nice, isn't it? If you're giving a treat to someone, have a beautiful day. So I'm going to use the rich raspberry ink for that. Again, I'm just going to do a little test stamp. That's good. Hold it for a few seconds to let the ink transfer onto the paper. Now, I did use, this is our Stampin' Up Whisper White ink, and it has been specifically compressed to be nice and smooth for stamping, and it gives a beautiful stamped finish. All right, so what I'll do, I'll punch that out and get that little sentiment ready before I assemble the box. So I'm using the 1 1/8 scallop punch for that. So let's get that in there. That's pretty good. And then the 1 1/4 punch. Now, if you don't have the punches, because you know some of these are retired or retiring, I'm just let me do another one of those. As you can see, that's just a spare piece of cardstock I had. Also in the same ink. That's what I love about Stampin' Up. Everything coordinates. So that's in the Pear Pizzazz ink. If you don't have the punches, you can use the layering circles that we have, which have both scallop circles and the straight circles too as dies if you prefer a die cutting system. The advantage of being a circle, I can't get it wrong. So long as I get it in the middle, it's good to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is assemble our little treat box. Let me just put that there so you can see what the... No, it doesn't want to, because it's got the Milky Way in it. All right, so I'm just going to burnish the score lines. Makes it easier to work with. I'm going to use Stampin' Up tear and tape because this is really good for 3D projects. It holds them together, and look, these were made some time ago and they have not fallen apart, unlike some tapes you might find fall apart. You could have used also Tombow, that's also good, but this tear and tape is specifically made for 3D projects to make sure nothing falls apart. So to put that together, the easiest way to get it straight, and as you see, I automatically just use my bone folder to burnish that, because any double-sided tapes really are a contact adhesive and they need to be scored. Now to put that together, the easiest way is just fold it in on itself, because we've got the same width in both sections. So just fold it over on itself. Use your bone folder to put it together. Now before I go any further, what I'm going to do is put the little hole in there that I will thread the tape through. I mean the twine, not the tape. So I'm lining that up with the middle. This is an old crocodile that I've had for a long time. Now what I'm ready to do is assemble the box, and that's all you need to do. As you see, you just fold in the sides on themselves. So what I'll just put a little bit of Tombow there and fold that one down on itself. I'll just put some pressure on there, and then I'll just put a little bit of tear and tape on the inside of here, and then that will, oops, I'll find the edge, there it is. That will seal the bottom, and nothing's going to fall out of there. This stuff is strong. All right, so long as you've got it square, which I have, and I'm now just going to, oh, sorry, bit of a wobble. So there we go, that is the box assembled. And to finish it off, I mean, if you wanted to, you could put some more glue in there, which I'll probably do a little bit later. But to finish it off, I'm just going to run a bit of twine. Now, did I bring out a bit of twine? I'll just use a piece I already have. So here we go. You would put your treat in the box, tie it up. I mean, I had a lot of these to do, so I just tied a knot rather than making pretty bows. But if you wanted to make a pretty bow, you certainly can. There we go. And then I'm just going to use a dimensional, one of our Stampin' Up foam dimensionals. Put it on the back of the sentiment. Take off its little backing paper and put that onto the front. And there we go. That's the box done. So I hope you enjoyed that. It is, as I said, a quick and easy way to make little treat boxes. You can make these for Christmas, for Easter, birthday parties, all sorts of different ways you can decorate these to give a little treat to people without spending a fortune. So as I said, there's the template, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks. Bye.